This is Wrestle MSX and welcome to the Musings of Raw and Smackdown, where we'll be taking a look at this past week in WWE.
Hello, I'm Michael.
I'm Sally.
So, we know it's going to be Randy Orton, Kevin Owens at Mania. Yeah,
Okay.
Which I think closes this chapter. This little, who I can think of, this is the last person on KO's hit list who he thinks has done him wrong.
Okay.
So, he's fought Cody Rhodes and he lost, and he fought Sami Zayn and won. So, Orton's the final one. Maybe. I can see a punt ending this contest.
Oh, got to.
Obviously, delivered by Orton. He's been teasing it since he came back from his extended Christmas break. The question is, where does Owens go from here? What's next? Or who's next for the prize fighter?
Yeah. 'Cause
I mean, this finishes that story.
Yeah.
Or,
for what he was initially going after, it would have been Reigns.
yeah, but I think Reigns is right. No, I don't want to fight
Yeah,
him.
because
I'm not interested in this
surely his ultimate goal was to kind of end the bloodline.
Mm.
So it should be Reigns. That should have been who he was going after, but swerve not going that way.
No. So I think he'll have a sabbatical and then he'll come back as either this obviously Kevin Owens, but he'll be
Oh, him and Sammy were best mates again.
yeah, of course they will. Of course they will.
We also had the three-way dance between CM Punk, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, which had been rumoured, I think, from the start of the year. I mean, you can't have WrestleMania without your top guys somewhere in that running order.
Oh, you've got to.
They need to be there. No idea who is going to come out on top of this one, though. Like, it can go any which way.
Easy. They're all good enough to beat one another.
Yeah.
No question.
No one seems to have any little side quests going on. Maybe Reigns for the Undisputed title. Obviously, that's always going to be kind of like in the back or forefront of his mind. But aside from that, all three are all in on this one match.
They are. And
there's hatred, which I love.
I mean, Punk keeps bringing up the fact that he can't be beaten without one of the other helping the other pin him.
Yeah, no one's kind of just beat him clean.
Which makes you think, but then even if one of them does pin Punk, or Punk takes the loss, the other one's going to help the other one somewhere along the line because they're all going to beat up. So they're all going to beat up.
You can't say, "Oh,
no,
you beat me clean," because it's not a one-on-one.
I think they'll start by beating up Punk and then they'll go at one another.
Oh yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see. And then Drew McIntyre is so set on Priest at the moment, like laser focused on him.
So focused right now.
Yes, he is. But he does have a point. Priest has messed Drew up over the last year. So the build does kind of hold water. Priest scuppered Drew's Royal Rumble, pinned him at the Elimination Chamber. So McIntyre's every right to be annoyed with the Punisher. WrestleMania match?
Yep, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, I've been beating this drum for a very long time. I still maintain there's going to be a 5-team tag title match at WrestleMania. Los Garza, Street Profits, Pretty Deadly, Yes Boy, DIY, and Motor City Machine Guns.
You like to throw that one in, don't you?
Yes, I do.
But if that was a ladder match, that would be absolutely mint.
No, it's got to
be so
it
good.
Will be. I still feel they need to put some more over on Raw.
Yeah.
I know you've got the War Raiders. Is it the War Raiders? Anyway, yes. New Day. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, LWO.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, I can't.
Judgment Day.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they could throw somebody else over because SmackDown does seem to be overloaded with tag teams.
Because Judgment Day isn't always just tag team though.
No, this is true.
They're the group together, but so it's not just them two or just two of them.
I don't know. Anyway, we'll move on to Raw. More boring Cena stuff, for my opinion. I mean, you might be different, but he's just trolling out the same stuff. It's a get a bit okay. You've already said that. You said that last week. You said it this week, and guess what? Cody and Cena are going to meet up again next week.
Yeah,
It's like, I mean, Cody's coming out, telling him to be quiet, yada, yada, yada. I know we're going through the motions, but I'm finding this a little bit boring. We kind of know what's happening. Let's have a bit more hands-on.
It's like clutching at straws is to get people to hate him.
Yeah, but I think some people probably already do hate him. They all dislike him. There will be people, so he doesn't need to be pulling them out. It's just, we hate you. But little kids that are 4 that have never seen him wrestle really, they're getting upset about it. But you've never seen him wrestle because you're too young.
Yeah, to know
what he's all about. And I thought he was changing his music.
Well, he never said that.
What happened? No,
it's just what we all wanted.
Internet rumours. Don't believe everything you see on the internet.
It's what we all wanted, and it should have happened.
But anyway, one of the greatest things on Raw this week, Grande Americano making his debut. Absolutely love it. Don't know who came up with that idea, but it is excellent. It's very funny. It's not Chad Gable. Very, very funny. Very funny. And I'll tell you something else that threw me was New Day demanding a tag team title shot. Out of absolutely nowhere. You don't see them. Well, you do.
You do, yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're in Adam Pearce's office and they're saying, hey, we want a tag title shot at WrestleMania. But I think this is an angle because something's cooking from somewhere. You wouldn't just say, hey, Adam Pearce, can we have a title shot? And he's like, no, go away. Which he did. He just said
it would usually be like, let's see what we can do.
But something.
But with him saying like, no.
I think he's...
something might be happening. Don't know what.
That was I think there's something there, but the biggest thing for me, that made me laugh as well. Rhea Ripley taking on Io Sky for next week, on next week's Raw for the Women's World Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. But Adam Pearce has made Bianca Belair the referee. I mean... That has shenanigans written all over it, doesn't it?
Yep.
Oh.
Nothing but shenanigans.
No, I mean the fact that she said I've never reffed, which was good,
I know,
and Adam Pearce is like, well, you've got a week to learn, just get on with it. I like that.
Yeah.
But what? I'm kind of speechless. Like nobody saw that. You just thought it was going to be Ripley against Sky,
and she'd be knocking about somewhere.
Yeah, or Pearce would have said no, you banned from ringside.
Yeah.
We're not having anything again. But then just to be like, oh, by the way, Bianca, what? You're going to be the ref? What? I mean, I hope she comes down in the full ref outfit.
Yeah.
She'll Belair it up somehow.
Oh, God, yeah, it'll be bejazzled.
Yeah, but that is...
Like kisses on and stuff.
More than likely, but that is such a... For him just to say, because, I mean, obviously this is going to lead to the triple threat, we think.
I mean, it's got
maybe
to.
for the belt.
They're trying to still make it like it's not, but it's...
Yeah, we know what you do in WWE. It's going to be a triple threat.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Now, you think that Judgment Day taking out Penta at the end of Raw is a way to bring in Rey Fenix?
Yes, it is.
But his vignettes have been on SmackDown.
This is true.
So, how is he going to help Penta all the way over from SmackDown?
No idea. They'll come together. They'll be old pals and be like, hey, I'm going back to SmackDown. Now I've helped you out and beat Judgment Day up. I'm going back to SmackDown.
I'll go back over, later.
I mean, how Raw ended, why would you have Judgment Day standing over Penta? I mean, Penta hasn't got any friends.
No.
So he's not going to take on all 3. I mean, Bron Breakker didn't come back in and help him. They should have stood over Breakker. They could have stood over Breakker because he's got the IC belt.
They could have stood over both, really.
Yes, but they didn't do it for Breakker. They did it on Penta.
Yeah.
So... For me, that is why they're gunning for Penta, and then somebody will come and help him, which has to be Rey Fenix. But as you say, his vignettes have been on SmackDown. So how they'll bring him over, I don't know.
That clears that up, thanks.
No problem.
And lastly, which links us nicely to SmackDown, CM Punk mentioned a contract signing for the WrestleMania match between him, Seth, and Reigns is taking place on this week's SmackDown. Now, we don't know what kind of match.
Well, no, obviously triple threat.
Could be in a cage.
Yeah, no, it's got to be in it. It's bound to be because the general triple threats are no DQs anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter what they do. They'll be fighting through the crowd.
Oh, they'll be everywhere. But it doesn't, like, whatever kind of match it is, it should be an absolute banger.
Yes, I think this will end night one. Now that it's set, we alluded to this before, because even though Gunther versus Jay is for the title, let's be honest, Punk, Rollins and Reigns are above Jey Uso and Gunther.
Yeah.
In terms of star power. Maybe not wrestling ability. If you want to say Gunther's the best wrestler, you can. If you want to say Jey Uso's the best wrestler, you can do. But for star power, Punk, Rollins and Reigns are the guys. And I think 100%. this will end night
easily,
one.
yeah. Because obviously
night 2 is going to be Cena.
It has to be
Rhodes.
Cena Rhodes.
Yeah, that will close out everything. But
They just need to.
I could see Jay and Gunther actually opening.
Yeah. Nice little opening match.
I could maybe not little, but I could see that opening.
But to get people.
Yeah, because to get and then try and keep hold of them.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But that, I mean, I don't know. You let us know what you think. I think that'll end night one without question.
That's a good shout. Yeah. Definitely.
And then we also have on SmackDown this week or this coming Friday, LA Knight defending his US title against Braun Strowman. And the Street Profits versus Pretty Deadly for the WWE tag titles. Now, I'm putting these together because I can see interference in both matches. Oh, yeah. DIY in the tag match, because they just will. And either Jacob Fatu or Solo in the US title match. And thinking about it, which I have done, I could see Sikoa getting involved, trying to make up for interfering in Jacob's number one contenders match from last week. And then it's evolving into a fatal four-way at WrestleMania. Knight, Strowman, Sikoa and Fatu.
Oh.
Look at me pitching ideas for WWE.
Oh, no, you need to calm yourself.
I mean, but then imagine Fatu and Sikoa going at it. Because there's clearly tension building.
Oh, God, yeah.
And imagine them in
they wouldn't to start with, it'd just be like... They would team up against the others and then it'd be like the face-off and...
Yeah,
Fatu would throw that first.
Oh, yeah, and then hip attack about 20 times.
Yeah. 3 moonsaults later.
3 or 400 moonsaults. You know, usual repertoire.
Yeah.
Hey, you're good, Fatu, but just do something a little bit different.
I know, but it still looks really good.
Oh, no, there's no question, but I just want a little bit, do some more moves. Don't do the 5 moves of doom we had with Cena. Or is it 6 now does that? What happened to that punch you used to do?
Yeah, that's stopped. I don't know.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Was just one match and one match only.
Oof, thank God for that.
Disagree, then let us know in the comments down below.
Go to check out review of Raw from Monday or last week's Musings. Thank you again for watching.
And we'll see you Saturday for SmackDown.